The sound of her scream sliced through the morning air. I stood across the street, coffee in hand, watching Melissa, my sister, step onto her perfect porch in her perfect white robe, clutching an envelope she hadn't expected. Her diamond bracelet glinted in the sun as her fingers trembled, eyes darting across the bold red stamp, eviction notice. When she saw the name signed at the bottom, she froze. Her lips parted, confusion, disbelief, then horror. "Clinton Reeves," she whispered. Yeah, that Clinton, the one she'd laughed at for years. The one she said would never amount to anything but a renter. I didn't move, just watched, calm. Because this wasn't about revenge anymore, this was justice. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I need your help to run this journey, thank you. I'm Clinton Reeves, 33, property investor now, but 5 years ago, I lived in a one-bedroom apartment with a flickering hallway light and walls thin enough to hear my neighbor's cat sneeze. I used to think success was measured by how people treated you, but when the people you love treat you like trash, you start redefining what winning means. Melissa, my older sister, was the golden child. Perfect grades, perfect hair, perfect husband. And me, I was the quiet one who didn't try hard enough. At least that's what she told anyone who'd listen. Our parents believed her, everyone did. It was during Sunday dinner, the last family gathering before things fell apart. Melissa looked around my tiny apartment, wrinkled her nose. "God, Clint, how do you live like this? It's like a shoebox." Her husband chuckled, sipping wine he didn't pay for. I tried to laugh it off. "It's temporary." "Temporary? Been 3 years," she said, smirking. "You really should have stayed in school instead of playing landlord dreams." Everyone laughed, even Mom smiled politely. I said nothing, but inside I promised myself, one day you'll regret this. When our parents passed, Melissa handled the estate. I trusted her, stupidly. She told me our parents' house was underwater, and the savings barely covered funeral costs. Months later, I found out she sold the house and pocketed everything. She bought herself a new BMW and posted it online with the caption, "Hard work pays off." Hard work, she hadn't worked a day in her life. I confronted her, she laughed. "Grow up, Clinton, you never do anything smart with money anyway." That's when something in me shifted. No more begging for fairness, no more explanations, just quiet progress. I kept my small apartment, worked days at a construction site, nights delivering food. Every dollar went into savings, every insult became fuel. Melissa lived in a mansion, bragging about financial freedom. But freedom built on lies doesn't last. Sometimes when exhaustion hit, I'd replay her words, "You'll always be the loser, brother." It used to hurt, now it just motivated me. One night, I delivered food to an older man in a worn-out suit. Turned out he was a retired real estate broker. He saw the exhaustion on my face and said, "You look like someone who's learning the hard way." I told him my story. He smiled, "Good, pain's a better teacher than comfort. You want to get even, don't get better." That night, he handed me a used copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That book became my Bible. 2 years later, I scraped enough for a down payment on a rundown duplex. Melissa laughed when she found out. "A duplex, that's adorable." She didn't know it was in a neighborhood about to be redeveloped. 6 months later, the property value doubled. I didn't tell her. I just bought another one. Family gatherings stopped. She didn't invite me to her birthday parties anymore, not that I cared. Her posts were constant, blessed dream home luxury living. But I noticed something new, a hint of desperation in her captions. Grateful to still afford this life despite challenges. Still afford. Something was off. Turns out her husband, Travis, was terrible with money. He quit his job to start a business that failed within a year. Their credit cards maxed out. But Melissa kept pretending everything was fine. She sold jewelry to maintain appearances. Meanwhile, I kept buying properties quietly. One of my tenants moved out from a rental property. Guess who applied next month? Melissa and Travis. They didn't know it was me. The application came through a management company under my LLC. Her income looked shaky, but I approved it. Of course I did. I watched them move into the fancy suburban house, one I technically owned. It was poetic. Melissa bragged about finally upgrading while unknowingly signing my lease. Every month she wired rent to my account through an agent named Victor. She never missed a payment at first. 3 months in, payments got late. Then excuses started. Sorry, processing delay. Bank issue. By month 6, they were 2 payments behind. Victor called me. What do you want to do? I smiled. Let's wait. Melissa called me out of nowhere. Hey Clint, long time. Her tone was sugary. I knew why. She wanted a loan. Said her husband was in between ventures. I played dumb. Wish I could help, but I'm still in that shoebox apartment, remember? Her silence was gold. When the 3rd missed payment came, I had Victor send a formal eviction notice. No special treatment. Business is business. Still, I hesitated. Part of me remembered the sister who used to braid my hair when we were kids. But that sister died the day she sold our parents' house and laughed about it. Melissa posted photos pretending everything was fine. New beginnings, blessed beyond measure. But friends started noticing the cracks. Rumors spread: foreclosure, debts, unpaid taxes. The perfect image began to crumble. And I didn't need to lift a finger. When her mortgage company foreclosed, the property went to auction. I instructed Victor to attend quietly. No one knew the LLC was mine. He placed the winning bid. A week later, the deed bore my signature, Clinton Reeves, owner. Travis left her. Ran off with someone younger. The perfect couple was done. Melissa's posts disappeared overnight. Her phone calls to me increased, just to talk. But every conversation ended with her crying about money. I listened, never gloated. That was the difference between us. When the eviction notice was delivered, I made sure I was there. She stormed outside in disbelief, reading my name. You own this. I met her eyes. I do, and I gave you 6 months of grace, more than you ever gave me. Her lips quivered. Clint, please. I shook my head. You taught me something important, Melissa. People only respect you when you stop begging. Then I walked away. She tried to fight it legally, but every document led back to me, fair and square. The company owned it. I followed every rule. Even the judge said, it's all in order. When she realized she couldn't win, she broke down crying in court. That's when it hit me, I didn't hate her anymore. I'd already won. The day she left, she looked smaller somehow. No makeup, no arrogance. Just a woman who finally faced the mirror. As her car drove away, I stood in the doorway of the house she'd once bragged about. The silence was beautiful. I went back to my small apartment, the one she mocked. It felt different now. Not because I was rich, but because I'd earned peace. The place that once symbolized shame now felt like proof that I started from something real. A month later, Melissa called. She said she'd moved into a small rental outside town. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I listened. Didn't say much. Forgiveness didn't need words. It just needed distance. My company expanded. Within a year, I owned 6 more properties, including a new complex downtown. When I signed the final deal, I thought of all the times she said I'd never make it. The irony was perfect. Her insults built my empire. Sometimes I drive past her old house. New family there now, kids playing in the yard, laughter where there used to be lies. I don't feel pride or regret. Just closure. She lost everything pretending to be better. I gained everything by being patient. If you ask me today what revenge feels like, I'd say it's quiet. It doesn't scream or post pictures. It just stands there calm, while the people who doubted you realize you didn't need to hurt them to win. My name is Clinton Reeves, asterisk. And the best part about owning your sister's dream house is knowing you never had to become her to do it. Moral: you don't always have to fight back loud. Sometimes the softest revenge is success itself. Drop your opinion about my story on the comment section below.